Here's Kamala Harris. An article came out from New York Post. Where is Kamala? 2 weeks since being named border czar, border czar, Harris still hasn't visited the border. President Biden named Harris on March 24 to head up the diplomatic effort to reach out to the leaders of Mexico and Central American countries about the flood of migrants, saying she speaks for me. But so far, she has only phoned Guatemalan President Alejandro Yamatei and Mexico's Andrés Manuel López Obrador to discuss root causes of the crisis. Instead, in her first 2 weeks as czar, she has traveled to Connecticut, Chicago, and home to California over the Easter weekend and has presided over swearing-in ceremonies, touted the administration's coronavirus stimulus package and COVID response, visited vaccination sites, lunched with the president, attended a cabinet meeting, and held listening sessions with faith leaders and small business owners. Her public schedule showed. Asked at the White House briefing Wednesday about when Harris might travel to the border, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, "There is no trips on the schedule. I don't have any trips to outline or preview. What our focus is on is solutions and ensuring we have more beds. We're making the processing more efficient and effective, and that we are addressing this in a human way that keeps these kids as safe as possibly we can," she said, of the surging numbers of accompanied minors showing up to the crossing. Okay, at the crossing. So here's one thing. Look, say what you want to say about Bill Clinton. He showed up. Say what you want to say about Bush. He showed up. Crisis happened. He's there the next day. Say what you want to say about Trump. He showed up. He showed up. He's like, hey, what's going on over here? What the hell is going on with even showing up? You know, if this is the kind of a crisis that we're having right now, why don't you go see for yourself? Why don't you go show some support? Why don't you go support some of the guys that don't have the easiest job? It's not the easiest job to be the guy that's finding the kid. That's not an easy job right now. Their job at the border is not an easy job. So, U.S., okay, let's see. The reason why people are coming to America is what? Because America is still the greatest country in the world, so people want to come where? To America. Okay, you don't see people coming from Canada down here as much as we got people from Mexico or El Salvador coming up here. People don't go crossing the border from Canada the way they're crossing the border here. That says a lot about Canada. Good for Canada for being a neighboring country. Mexico, a different story. Can you really influence politically making these calls? I don't know. I don't know how much you can do that. The way Trump did it was the following. If you don't fix it, there is tariffs. If you don't fix it, there's more tariffs. If you don't fix it, there's more taxes. That got the attention of people very quickly, okay? We're like, okay, listen, let's get this together. So why don't you say, hey, Mexico, if you don't fix the border issue that you are causing for us, here's a tariff. It's very simple. Now, I'm just telling you what we're going to do to you. This is the tax you got to pay us. You still don't want to fix it? Another tariff. You still don't want to fix it? Another tariff. Do you remember when Trump said Mexico's going to pay for the wall? You know what was the most disappointing thing? That Americans were upset about it. What are you upset about it? Why are you upset if he makes Mexico pay for the wall? What's the big deal? Why are you so upset that you're defending them? They should pay for the wall. We're not going over their border. They should pay for the wall, right? This isn't something where you're, look, so let's just say you're President Biden or Kamala Harris. Okay. Would you say this is a pretty urgent issue that's taking place today? Is this a pretty urgent issue?
Yes.
Is it? Okay. Is it? How urgent is it right now? What's going on to Texas, Arizona, and California because they're on the border? How urgent is it?
It's a pretty big damn issue.
It's a pretty big issue today.
But not the biggest issue.
What is the biggest issue today?
Number one, by far and away, is COVID.
But COVID has already been solved because we have. No, what I mean by that is the fact that we have the what do you call it?
Vaccine.
We have the vaccine.
Yeah.
We have some progress that we're making. So it's not like we're in the process of making that better, right? What even brings more COVID? If you got hundreds of people, thousands of people that are around each other in different facilities. If COVID is your number one, why don't you pay attention to the border?
And a lot of these people coming over do have COVID.
Of course they do. That could create a bigger spread. I don't know, man. I think for me, I like the fact when you say, well, it's been very quiet, ever since Biden got elected. You don't hear a lot of different problems. Yeah, I kind of want you to go there ASAP and sit down and see what's going on. You're the president, man. We're paying you to go do your job, and this is an issue that we're facing right now. All you got to do is get on that Air Force One plane of yours with a few hundred Secret Service guys. Go out there and see what's going on. Make some tough decisions. Let's move forward rather than sitting there saying, well, I don't know what we're going to do here. If we put too many tariffs, then they're going to say we're doing what Trump did, and I'm going to be compared to this. Forget about it. I don't think they're playing offense to figure out a solution.
Well, he's reconsidering to build the wall, to continue the wall.
He has no choice because people are now saying that it worked.
Right.
People are now saying, maybe we do need it. So that whole concept about a wall, calling them racist, now people are starting to realize, maybe we do kind of need a wall. The part, Ricky, my challenge is the following, which there's a part I agree with you here, is, which I don't know, you may agree with what I'm going to say, but I think where you're going is saying, why are people leaving Mexico? What can Mexico do? What can this do?
Central American countries.
Listen, you're America. You know, if you're America, impose some tariffs. Go ahead. Hey, Mexico, you don't figure this out, I'm not lifting the tariffs. And these tariffs are going to stay for 6 months. And by 90 days from now, if I don't have a resolution and a report showing me with what exactly you're doing, guess what? We're raising the tariffs again. And within 6 months, if you haven't done X, Y, Z, tariffs are going up again. I'm going to put a tier of tariffs with timelines on them. I'm going to say 90 days. By 90 days, you need this. Between now and then, 10%. 90 days to 180 days. If you don't meet that, it goes to 20%. 180 days to 270 days. If you don't meet that, 30%. 270 days to 360 days. If you don't meet that, 40%. Guess what?
Motivates action.
I want to get this done because that creates a level of urgency tied with deadlines. Let's get to work. We want to help you. We want to be able to accommodate you, but at the same time, this is an issue because you're throwing your problems at us, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to see videos like this. This is heartbreaking. You know what's one of the common things threads I read here with people commenting below? Parents saying, I can't even watch that video. Comment if you look at it. If somebody's saying, I can't even watch that video. Some of the comments, we got Juan Garcia gave $5. He said, as a Hispanic parent, so heartbreaking to see those images. Jorge Ramos is a Hispanic puppet for the left. Shout out to Ricky for keeping it real, right? You're getting people that are watching this saying, this is tough to watch. This is not easy to watch, and it's happening. And what are you doing? You're going to different events? Yeah, I don't know about that. That doesn't show leadership to me.
You know what the most disappointing part about it is today? Yes,
FYI,
yes,
FYI.
Pat. Yes, Pat.
This doesn't help. You know the whole thing that they're saying Kamala's going to be president? This doesn't help her re-election stuff. Go ahead.
You know what the crazy part about it is, though? What I'm really disappointed in, a lot of my friends are watching this and are going to watch this, is how many of you guys, and I'm going to say this to you, I'm talking to my friends that supported Biden, how many of you guys voted for him because Trump was a racist and because that's what they used to brainwash you, and then on top of that, how quiet you are about what's going on, yet it's in our face. It was never this bad. Our people that carry forget about the skin color because I don't believe in division, that carry our culture, our country, right now are literally going through this, and how many people are quiet about it? I mean, it was a daily post. Trump is racist. Trump is racist. Wall is racist. Trump is racist. But now everything's good because the racist guy is out of the office, according to them. It's just insane to me. Like, it's so disappointing as a Mexican hardcore. I have a centenario on my chest, which is the 100th anniversary of Mexico. It's a coin they make every 100 years. I lived in Mexico. My dad lives in Mexico. I have property in Mexico. I go there often. My family's there. I just went to school there. I just went and buried my uncle, my grandmother, and my uncle. I'm a Mexican citizen. I have a dual citizenship. I'm not a whitewashed Mexican that lives over here, watches the news, and reads a couple articles and think they're woke. I'm very objective. I remember when I was living there, I was 18 years old and I lived there. I was there for a year. One of the times I lived there, we would actually party, right, with my friends that were, and by the way, with families that are well off, that they were going to cross. I remember vividly, I was there, we were at a bar. I still remember it's called Desvan, right? And it's no longer there, Desvan. And I'm from Michoacan, which is a very dangerous state to be in, right? So it's torn in the cartel war. And there were 3 of them were going to go illegally. And we're like we're getting drunk the night before because we're partying for them. And they go up, they all 3 got caught, they came back, and we threw a party because they were back. These are not starving people. So when you're sitting there and you're a Mexican that lived here your entire life and you don't even know where your parents are from, and you want to have an opinion on this when you don't know what's going on down there, it's the stupidest thing ever because you let the news rile you up. I was there. I saw them leave the town with well-off families. They just want to go just do something better, go experience another country. It's almost like a vacation to some of them. I don't want to say that about all of them. It's unfair for me to categorize everybody like that. But I know my fair share of people that had no need to come down here, and they're coming down here, and everybody over here wants to feel bad because the news is making you feel bad when they're pretty good where they're at. So,
let's just talk numbers real quick.
And I'm not against immigration, by the way. I want you to know, obviously, we're immigrants.
You're against pro-legal immigration.
I'm pro you not getting raped and trafficked.
Okay. Yeah,
so be very clear.
Agree upon that.
Okay.
Just quick numbers for you while we before we move on, because you brought up, this is not a good look for Kamala if she's going to be the immigration czar. border czar. So let's just talk numbers. Let's talk approval ratings. Biden's approval ratings for his handling of COVID and the vaccine, 75%.
That's
very
insane.
High. Very high.
Meaning that he did nothing for it. Previous administration created the vaccine. That's the fact.
Sure. So own it. So tell people to get vaccinated then if you're Trump.
No,
he did.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
No, I'm
debatable. Let me just finish my point.
I'm an independent thinker.
Biden also, when Biden came into office, because obviously they were talking about his plan when he was campaigning. He was saying this, that, and the other. Oh, we're gonna put together an action plan. And then as soon as he got elected, he said, basically, it's just got to run its course. So
okay, there you go. Let's just talk numbers for a second. His approval rating between
But he just made a very good point, just so you know that. When they asked him, I have a plan when I get elected, I'll tell you about it. When he got elected, he said, we just have to let it run its course. There was no plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
go ahead. He's got 77 approval rating.
75% on COVID. Border patrol, situation of the border in the 40s. So if you're looking at numbers, and if Kamala is the person that's going to be the border czar, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can handle COVID and do well and get vaccinated and do everything, but also get Kamala's ass down to the border and make this situation go away and fix this problem. So I don't know if the wall is the solution. I think it's more policies than wall. Because there's something called, tell me if you're familiar with this, Title 42.
Yes.
So tell me, I don't know if, I know that I'm familiar with the Title 42. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but there's basically a policy situation that Trump implemented. Biden came in with an executive action and removed it. So listen, part of being voting for Biden or being a Republican is that you can have tough love. You can love your kids and say, bro, you got to do better here. Your report card sucks. So my advice to Joe and Kamala, whatever, is keep doing what you're doing on COVID. Things are getting better, but get your act together when it comes to the border, because this is a humanitarian disaster.
But hold on, it's deeper than that. The man hasn't done anything in 42 years, 47 years. Why would you have an expectation of a vote for a person that's never done anything? Literally, you got a video. Hold on.
You can't say he's never done anything.
Are you serious? Okay, you're right. Mass incarcerate blacks in the 1990s.
I like what you're doing here.
You're right.
You're using the
you're
propaganda.
Right. Got
I
it.
get it.
No, it's propaganda or they're on the books.
Who won the election?
That's beside the point.
We're not going to go there?
No, we're not. No, we're not.
I hope you brought cash with you.
No, we're not going to go there. No, we're not going to go there.
Did you bring the cash, Ricky?
We're going to.
I believe in you, bro.
We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
What do you mean?
No, we're not, because we're not. So the point is this. Here's the reality behind things. Trump in his 40s brought Manhattan out of ruins. That's the truth. When he was in his 30s and 40s, it actually brought him in and said, what can we do to fix Manhattan? He brought Manhattan to where it's at, right? Well, to a certain extent,
Trump brought Manhattan
Are
to
you
where
serious?
It's at?
They had meetings.
Trump is the
they had
person
city
that
council
brought
meetings
Manhattan
where
where it's at?
they had city councils where he was helping them rebuild. He says, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Let me build here. Let me build here. He's the one that brought life to it. Right? Or am I wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. You don't have to agree with me.
I don't think Trump was the sole reason Manhattan is what it is.
Okay,
today,
you don't think he
bro.
was the biggest influence for it? He was the biggest voice at the time.
I think he did his fair share, but I think there's a lot of freaking people that.
Of course, I'm not saying that.
I'd say Rudy Giuliani is a bigger factor than Trump.
But everything needs a pioneer, right? He was a pioneer for it.
Sure.
Okay, right? Did our forefathers get the country to where it's at right now? No. The forefathers. No, they fought to get rid of British, and then they established the Constitution, and we're here now. But we had to continue that legacy.
Sure.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Okay, so what I'm getting at is that the man has already had previous success. What has Biden done? He hasn't done anything but enforce a few laws that go against mass incarceration. And then what did Kamala Harris, actually known for lock up a brother? That was her nickname. So why would you have any expectations for people who have done nothing for the communities to begin with, and then expect them to go into office and want to have expectations for them?
Is Joe Biden your president?
It's like having a dog, it biting you, and then saying, "Don't bite me." It bites you when it's adopted, and then
Ricky,
we're like, "Don't bite me when I own you."
This is a famous thing that we talk about. What's your point?
My point is, why do you have any expectations? You should have known this happened.
So it should have zero expectations for the president of the United States?
Why would you if you already knew the track record? No. Why are you?
You're a smart guy. That's not a smart comment,
okay.
bro.
Let me clarify.
Even if your expectations are low, you should have some
Hold on. Let me clarify it for you
bro.
then. Let me clarify for you then. Yeah. Okay. Democrats that voted for him that are not happy on what he's doing should not be surprised. You already know he has nothing going on for himself.
There's different issues, brother.
No.
There's
no
different issues. There's COVID. There's immigration.
Yeah.
There's taxes. There's policies.
Which he sucks at all of them.
Is he doing healthcare?
Tell me one category he's doing good in. He's doing good in Texas?
COVID.
He's doing good in COVID?
75% approval rating.
It doesn't matter what ignorant people think. The question becomes, who started it? He said we got to let it take its course.
So
take
Trump
what
should own
course?
it. Trump should get out there and tell people.
He already did.
I started this thing.
He did.
Get your
He
ass
has.
vaccinated. So why do 50%
Kind of like remember when I was last time I was on the
podcast?
podcast and she said what was her name? I don't
Danielle,
know. Danielle. She's like, why doesn't he reject white supremacy? I said yes, he did 26 times. Remember when I said that? Okay, publicly. He's already publicly saying to do it. So what are you talking about? He hasn't come out and said it.
More often then.
Well, he's not the president anymore. They took him off of every single social media.
Let me ask you: do you listen to what Trump has to say?
Not everything.
You respect what he has to say.
I respect what he has
If
to
he
in
told
certain
you,
categories.
listen, bro. Listen, Ricky.
Yes.
I want you to go get vaccinated.
No, sir.
You
I'm an
wouldn't
independent.
listen.
I'm an independent
Okay,
thinker. I don't solely follow one man. I could like a lot of what he does without liking certain things. Okay, that's what happens when you're an independent thinker, right?
Well played, sir.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.